Little did I know. From shadows to light, my story.
Chapter 1. From Shadows to First Light. Born into chaos and love in Cahos, David, the youngest of the Liddle triplets, learns early that memory, shame, class, faith, music, and masculinity will tug him in different directions. Yet the pull toward gentleness and purpose keeps showing through. Looking out for Debbie, a brother's early devotion. It would be impossible to tell the story of my early years without acknowledging the deep protective love I felt for the girls of my life, especially for my sister Debbie. From the beginning, there was an unspoken bond between us, something sacred and instinctive. Though we were still so young, I carried within me a sense of duty, a need to watch over her, even when I barely understood what that meant. One summer day stands out in my memory like a still photo blurred by sorrow. It had started out like any other, just the three of us, Debbie, Doreen, and I, walking to the Lansing swimming pool for an afternoon of carefree fun. We had all passed the basic swim lessons supervised by Dan Heiko, the friendly and watchful pool administrator, so we were allowed to swim without adults present. The freedom felt exhilarating, and the pool had become a small haven for us. But that day, something wasn't right. I left early, walking home alone because my ears were aching badly. Once home, I curled up in Sharon's bedroom, pressing my head to the pillow as the pain throbbed. Then the phone rang. I remember the shift in Sharon's voice, the sudden fear in it. I didn't know it then, but in those moments, everything had changed. Dan Heiko was on the other end of the line. Debbie had collapsed at the pool and had been rushed to the emergency room in what appeared to be a coma. No one in our family knew at the time that Debbie was hypoglycemic. The words didn't even make sense to me then. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to my sister. Later, my mother turned to me, her voice edged with anger and blame. She asked, in a tone that felt more like an accusation than a question, why I had left Debbie and Doreen at the pool. I was too young to understand how or why I was being held responsible, but I took that weight onto myself. I felt the crushing shame, the guilt, the deep and haunting fear that maybe, somehow, I had failed her. That maybe, because I wasn't there, she almost died. That guilt followed me like a shadow for years, whether it came from my own sensitive heart or from the burden of blame placed on me, likely both. I wasn't emotionally equipped to carry it, but I did, quietly, alone. There was another moment, equally painful in its own way. Debbie had been playing with a group of neighborhood kids in front of Tony Francesconi's house. I was nearby, but being teased by some boys. Embarrassed and hurt, I walked home, leaving Debbie behind. Later, I learned she had stood up for me and had been pushed by one of the boys, Jimmy Clark, right into a chain-link fence. Again, the blame found its way to me. My mother told me that I should have stayed, should have defended myself, should have protected Debbie. Her words stung deeply. I already felt small and unsure, but now I also felt responsible for her getting hurt. Looking back now, with the eyes of compassion, I see that I was just child-loving, sensitive, and doing my best in a world that often moved faster than my heart could keep up with. I loved Debbie with all that I had, and even though I couldn't always protect her, my devotion to her was real and rooted in something pure. What I carried wasn't failure, it was love. Thank you for spending this time with me, the Pussycat Wizard. These moments we share, whether in shadows or in light, are threads in a much larger story, one I'm honored to tell with you beside me. As always, the journey continues. The next chapter subsection is waiting, and I'd be honored if you'd walk with me a little further down this road. Until then, keep the wonder alive, and I'll see you in the next episode of Little Did I Know.
If it's a moment you're after, let's give this a shot. 3 quick breaths in through the nose, believe it or not, it will render you happy in the sunshine of the day. I love living in Bisbee, and no, I am not gay. The flowers do smell so wonderful in spring. I sit on my porch, a throne for a king. My libido is for magic, man or woman, it's not. So celibacy, I'm after magic mushrooms and pot. It's my life I've chosen, like it or not. Bullfrogs and butterflies, Aunt Ruth, she had wrote, if music's like living, then I love every note. Bullfrogs and butterflies and plenty of pot. In the streets of Cohoes, where I call my home, with Sharon, Debbie, Doreen, James, and William, we all roam. From the block to the park, we never walked alone. Through thick and thin, siblings forever tightly sewn. Playing ball in the playground under the summer sun, running through the alleys, feeling free and young. Where the Hudson River flows, we found our fun. Cohoes, the small town where childhood begun. I sit on my porch, a throne for a king. My libido is for magic, man or woman, it's not. So celibacy, I'm after magic mushrooms and pot. It's my life I have chosen, like it or not. Bullfrogs and butterflies, and Ruth, she had wrote, if music's like